Hi, hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's really nice to have you guys here. In today's video, we're going to be looking at fine-tuning AI, how to make an AI model to work just for you. So we're going to be also be touching on transfer learning, right? What is transfer learning in generative AI and fine-tuning? Okay, so in our course module, of course, we've talked about a lot of stuff. In the last video, we went through prompt engineering. If you have not seen that, please go and watch it. It is very cool. All right, today again we are talking about fine-tuning AI models. We're fine-tuning generative AI models. Okay, so the first question that you want to ask ourselves, right? How do we improve ChatGPT? Okay, sometimes ChatGPT doesn't know some information about us, right? So ChatGPT is not able to doesn't have information about you, or if you have a company and you have a private data, right? ChatGPT will not be able to do that, right? So how do we make ChatGPT to be able to have access to those information, right? So for example, you can say here, I can ask ChatGPT, please tell me about, okay, let's say, what do you know about me? So let's right. So you see, I don't have access to your personal data. Okay, so it doesn't have my access to my data. And so let's say I have a company, right? I say, okay, what do you know about my company? Definitely no information. Okay, or say, what do you know about my education? No information. Okay, I mean, yeah, I could just put my information here, my information about myself, about my company, about my education, but those information, they are private information. Okay, and when you put those information here, so the information is used to train this AI, and everybody in the world will have access to that data, and you don't want people to have access to the data. So just imagine that Apple or Google, or they have some private data that they don't want other people, other companies, to have access to, right? And they want to train ChatGPT to be able to understand the information and answer questions, right? They won't train it here, so they will have to do it in a way, right, that the data will still be private and ChatGPT will still be able to understand the information. Okay, so that is what we are trying to do here, and we are trying to create, you can call it, our own private ChatGPT. Okay, so today is just to go to overview of what transfer learning is and fine-tuning AI is. In the next class, we are going to implement our own code for our own private ChatGPT. Okay, so the first question is, what is transfer learning? Because there is a similarity between transfer learning and fine-tuning AI. Okay, like fine-tuning AI model or fine-tuning GPT model. Okay, so transfer learning is a technique where pre-trained model, okay, so like this model now is pre-trained already. Okay, it has intelligence. So we take the pre-trained model, is now, then we now retrain it or adapt it to new tasks or data. So I will take what has been trained already, then I give it new data about myself, about my company, private data, right, that I can use to train the AI, but the data will be private and people will not be able to use it. So that is what is called transfer learning, yeah. So what are the steps in transfer learning? Okay, so of course you have your pre-trained model. So please don't forget pre-trained model. So meaning that this model that we use here is already trained by the owner, right, by OpenAI. Okay, so it's already trained on general data, for example GPT-4, okay, the LLM model. Okay, so that's the first thing. So we have that. Then the second thing is to add specialized data for your domain or tasks, e.g. information about you. So the information that you want to use to teach the AI about yourself, maybe in PowerPoint, or say what document about yourself, right? Say my name is this and that, I've done this and that, like these are the things that I like to do, stuff like that. And maybe information about your company, like the income of your company, the private data. So like just imagine that you have like someone has like the information about like all their employees, right, in a document, and they feed that to the AI, right? Then you can always go and chat with the AI. Okay, so please tell me about employee A, right? Then ChatGPT will go to the document, and give you summary. Or let's say like you're in a class of students or pupils, right? Maybe 20 people, right? Then the teacher can put all the information of the kids and put it in ChatGPT, right? And the teacher can, every now and then go and ask ChatGPT about like, who is this person? Like, does this student like to eat rice or something? Instead for the teacher to go and read all the data, right? You can just chat with ChatGPT, okay? So that's for this one. Then the next one, which is now we fine tune the models, all right? So meaning that we train the model on the new data, but the data will be private, okay? So to improve its performance on new data and train model with my data, okay? So for example, fine-tuning GPT on companies frequently asked question, right? To build a customer support chatbot, right? So companies do have FAQs, right? Question that people usually ask, right? So instead of you telling people to go and read the FAQ, so like just put the FAQs, like train the GPT model with the FAQs, and people can just go and chat with that AI, and the AI will give them the result. Okay, so that is what transfer learning is, and we can see that fine-tuning AI is a step, right? Please don't forget that is a step in transfer learning, right? The first step is to get your baseline model that we have. The second step is to get your data. Then the last step is to train. Okay, so we're going to do this training in the next class. Okay, so let's go. So again, why is fine-tuning useful? I think we've mentioned this, but just to talk on it. So it's a personalization, right? So adapt AI to specific tasks or writing style, right? So if you want ChatGPT to write like you can just feed ChatGPT with some of the things that you have written before, and ChatGPT will write like you, just like a copy of yourself, right? So for example, also domain specific knowledge, right? Make AI expert in fields like healthcare, law, and education. So if you have some specific information about a specific field, right, you can feed that to the AI, and the AI will be able to give you relevant information based on the field that you are. Okay, also it enhances performance. Okay, so model understand nuances like tone, context, and all of that, like jargon better, right? So if you give AI more information, like more of your data, right, it will help the data to kind of understand more like the tone of how you have conversation with people and the context and all of that. Okay, so these are all some of the benefits, not all, some of the benefits of fine-tuning AI, a generative AI model. Okay, so examples, of course, a legal chatbot fine-tuned with case law data for accurate legal advice. Okay, so they fine-tune this chatbot with a particular case data, right? A very particular case data, right? So now the chatbot now have experience in that case data. So if you ask ChatGPT for information about that case data, it will be able to give you. And this is one of the reasons why ChatGPT is going to, like, so many lawyers probably will lose their job in the future, right? Because what they are doing is they are analyzing case file data, right, and giving advice and all of that. But ChatGPT can do that better and faster, right? Just train your ChatGPT with the new data, right? Fine tune it, and then you have a lawyer that is ChatGPT. All right. So again, example: an a personalized AI tutor trained on high school physics concept to assist students. Okay, so this also say, well, Yeah, so like this is an AI that can read physics textbook, specifically used. So let's say you have a physics textbook used in your school, or any math textbook used in your school. You can take the old textbook and feed it to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will read everything, and you can ask ChatGPT question, or you can even ask ChatGPT to even come up with sample exam questions, or to even explain everything. And to be honest with you, ChatGPT will be able to do better than your teacher, right? Like the only thing that ChatGPT will not be able to do, is to have emotions, tell you that you are sorry, blah blah blah, right? So also in future, ChatGPT will probably replace teachers. All right. So step for fine tuning, right? So the first one, you have to decide which AI should if the AI should summarize, classify, or generate text, right? So, but in our own example, we are talking about generative AI, so we want the AI to generate text. Okay, so that's what you want the AI to do. Example, build an AI to summarize scientific research, which makes sense. The next one, you prepare your data, right? So let's say your data is your physics textbook, right? You prepare it, you format it in a way that ChatGPT will be able to understand. And even for example, maybe like it's movie reviews or something like that. So then the next step is to use APIs. So APIs are called application programming interface, right? So right now, okay, so we have this base model, right, like the ChatGPT model, and we want to improve on it. That's our idea, okay? But for us to have access to ChatGPT model to improve on it, we have to use something called APIs, application programming interface, meaning the interface that we can use to talk to ChatGPT model. I hope that makes sense. Or we can use libraries like Hugging Face, blah blah blah. But this one is what we're going to look at in the next video, right? We're going to train our own AI, ChatGPT model. Okay. So then, of course, after you do all of that, then you fine tune the model. Okay. So yeah, that is that. So before the end of the video, let's just look at some real world example of fine tuning AI model or generative AI model, right? So imagine that you want to build a medical chatbot to assist doctors with quick reference guides. And this also, in future, it's also possible that people that actually do this work, maybe nurses or doctor assistant or anybody, or data analysis analyst, will probably lose their job because AI will be able to do it, right? And AI can review medical reports faster or guide faster than any human and give the medical doctor some information. And also there are some research of actually designing an AI that can also be a doctor that can perform operation by themselves. So doctors should also watch out, but that will be like in a very 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 long time, like for us to get there. So the step to take for this scenario, you get your data, you get your medical textbooks, case studies, disease guidelines, and then you train it. Then you have evaluate the performance, of course, to see how good it is. That's one example. So then the result is going to be a chatbot, a doctor chatbot. Okay, so I think that's all I have, actually, just one example. Okay, so in the next video that as I mentioned, we are going to code our own ChatGPT model, right, to improve on it. For now, I still don't know the data that we're going to use to train it, maybe personal data about ourselves or anything, but I will decide that, right? Then we'll be able to design a ChatGPT model that'll be able to do what we want to do, and our data will be private. Like people in the world using ChatGPT will not have access to that. It will be a copy of our of our own ChatGPT, right, that nobody has access to. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and please comment and let me know what you think, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.